Hey guys, what is going on today? Bojo here. Welcome back to episode number 17 of our Montreal Canadiens franchise mode series here in NHL 19. Once again, guys, I apologize for the long layoff. I feel like I'm saying that after every video, but as I mentioned in the last video, I'm still sick. I'm coughing like a crazy person, so I'm trying to hold that off as best as I can in this video. I got some OJ right next to me, so if you don't hear me talk for a couple of minutes or if you see a skip in the audio, that's probably because I'm drinking some orange juice, no pulp, because that's a big debate right now on the Twitters. Hextech is a weirdo. No pulp is definitely the way to go. Anyways, make sure you guys leave a like down below on the video if you're enjoying the series. Subscribe if you guys are brand new to the channel. Also, make sure to go check out intotheam.com. Use code BOJO for 10% off your entire order. Alright, so here we are at the beginning of February 2022. You're here in year number 4. Currently, the Habs sit at 27, 18, and 3, looking pretty good. Third place right now in the Atlantic Division. We do have 3 games in hand on both the Ottawa Senators and the Toronto Maple Leafs. So hopefully these 3 games that we do have to make up will definitely get us a bit of a better distance between us and the Maple Leafs, because that wild card is a little bit too close for comfort right now, with a lot of the teams in the Metropolitan Division looking to gain some ground. Everybody, like I said in the last video, everybody in the Metro is over 500 if you don't count overtime losses. Everybody is over 500. People in our division in the Atlantic is a little bit weaker, which is good since we are going to play a little bit more Atlantic teams, but looks like we have some Western Conference games going up. But we were definitely looking to potentially grab some guys for some potential trade deadline deals that we can definitely use to improve our team. Most specifically, looking for an offensive type of defenseman. So to do an overview for you guys, I'm going to show you guys the lines first. Don't worry about the scouting system. I have done all that already. Every player and all my scouts are perfectly assigned, and they are hopefully going to be scouting appropriately. So I changed those things up. As for our lineups, I made one change for 5v5s. We're now moving Nikita Sherbak up to the top line, and Brendan Gallagher is going to take a little bit of a back seat and go onto the second line. A bunch of you guys were telling me to break up that first line just a little bit because they were so negative. Like Drouin is -15, Kotkaniemi's -14. Sherbak is a even player right now, but Domi and Jost are the 2 really good plus-minus players at 11 and 6. Gallagher was a -8 as well, so hopefully these 2 guys will help Brendan Gallagher's plus-minus, and maybe Nikita Sherbak will help Drouin and Kotkaniemi's plus-minus. A lot of people were saying to move Tyson Jost up to the first line, but if I have to move him up to the first line, that means I have to move Max Domi up to the first line. I don't want to break this duo up because they are absolutely killing it so far. Domi has 30 assists and Jost has 24 goals. So there's no way I'm breaking that pairing up because they seem to be getting me most of my offense so far this year. So I definitely don't want to break up that pairing at all. The bottom pairs we didn't really touch at all whatsoever. Lafreniere, Paling, Senishin still in the third. And then Poulin, Hudon, and Armia still going to round out the fourth line. Defensively, like I said, we didn't make any changes to that. We might be making some changes to it, though, in this episode. We'll have to see. And then for special teams on power play for right now, I made the decision to move Max Domi, Tyson Jost, and Jonathan Drouin on the first line power play. I had taken off Nikita Sherbak from it, and I went back to the 2 defenseman pair. So Morrissey and Yossi will be the 2 defenders on the power play. And then for the second line power play, I have Brendan Gallagher, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, and then Zach Senyshyn on the second pair. Somebody told me to move Zach Senyshyn onto the power play because he does take a good bit of shots so far this year, as you guys will see for full career stats. He has taken only 72 shots this year, but still is a fair bit of shots. He's already more than halfway to his shot total from last year. He's definitely going to pass his goal total from last year as well. So hopefully he might be able to get that second line power play a little bit juiced up. Mete and Juleson will be the guys on defense. No other changes to other lineups. The pound to kill was doing a little bit better, so I'm not going to touch that, and I think we are good to go. One thing I forgot to do while we were browsing the trading block last time and I was editing it because I wanted to find an offensive defenseman, I forgot that there's actually the new player search option in the game this year. So that allows me to bring me to this spot where I can actually search for players. Now, it's still a little bit broken if I have to say so myself. Like, I wanted to search for a defenseman, an offensive defenseman, but I feel like when you use the shooting stats and the puck skills stats, they look for players that have exactly those exact star stats for the players that you're looking for. So if I were to do like shooting stats of at least like 4.5 stars plus puck skills for 4.5 stars, and I decide to search, it doesn't find anybody at all, which is oddly bizarre if you ask me. Say for instance I were to take, because you know why? Because you have to put these all-stars up as well. That makes sense. So if I were to put at least like half a star on all of these guys, I think that might work. Let's see, if I throw those half a stars in, no, it still doesn't work. That's so bizarre to me. Like if I were to go offensive defensemen, and that's pretty much it. I'm looking for offensive defense, and then the search result comes up. I don't know why that is. I might have to talk to the guys in the Discord chat about why that doesn't work for when you're looking for player stats on player search. It doesn't seem to bring you up exactly who you're looking for, but this is the kind of stuff I was looking for last episode of all the offensive defensemen in the league right now and who I should be looking at trying to acquire potentially, because that's what we want. We want an offensive defenseman. And Torey Krug was pretty much one of the only ones that we found on the trading block last video, and honestly, we might be going after Torey Krug in this video. We'll have to see. Here's just some of the other players that potentially we could have went out and grabbed, like Adam Bodquist would have been nice, but Chicago's not going to give him up. Torey Krug is the only person on that trading block that I have seen out of this entire list, and most of the other players have teams who are pretty decent or looking for playoff runs. Justin Schultz was on this list, would have been decent maybe to grab, but once again, crazy contracts. But I'd like Torey Krug's, even though he has a, once again, pretty hefty contract associated with him. I think he was the best person on that list to go for, and it makes the most realistic to grab him anyway. 10 goals, 19 assists so far for 29 points in 50 games, minus 15, but he's playing on a Bruins team that is definitely struggling this year. He's 30 years old. 5.3 for 3 more years, so he might start to decline a little bit, but at 85 overall, that's not terrible. We're starting to definitely try to get some more veteran presence on this young Canadiens team that we have, so no better place to start than the back end. We got Roman Josi, as I said, and we're still getting some younger defensemen here, and you know what? I think that's the perfect player to grab to potentially increase our team, and I'm not going to wait for the trade deadline at all. I'm going to see if I can just go out and potentially make a deal with the Boston Bruins right now. So they have Jordan Eberle also on their block, but let's try to get Torey Krug, and let's see if we can get this deal done. Now, I would like it if Boston wouldn't mind taking back a little bit of cap. All right, so for potential stuff that we could send the Bruins, I'll send them my first-round pick, because I hoped to God that we're going to be a playoff team, and Nashville's first-round pick is still a lot better than ours, so we definitely can give up that first-round pick for sure. As far as what else goes, defensemen that we are looking to give away. Yossi's not going anywhere. Belfoy stays. Josh Morrissey stays. Lars Peterson, who is the defenseman we have down the Myers, he stays. Victor Mete, for right now, I kind of want him to stay because he's the youngest out of the 3 guys who I want to stay. Plus, he has the best trade value out of Zboril and Juleson. And he has a very, very, very good contract, and I think he might be getting better. So I'm going to keep Mete around just for now because I think he has the best potential out of the 3 to get better. And he's the only one who's actually gotten an overall boost as well. So that leaves either Jacob Zboril or Noah Juleson to get rid of. Both kind of similar contracts, 2.6 for 2 years, 2.8 for 3 years. Same overall, same age. If we look at their stats, just to take a look at how the stats compare. Juleson is the better puck skills player, the better census player, and their shots are kind of equal at right now. I think Zboril has a better shot. Actually, Zboril has a harder and more accurate shot than Juleson does. Yeah, he does. So Zboril definitely has the edge in the shooting category, but they're very, very similar. Only like Zboril is just a tiny bit more accurate and has a bit more power to him. But Juleson is by far the better puck skills mover and better senses player and like offensive awareness and things like that. It seems he's better poised, better discipline, things like that. Defensively, on their other hand, Zboril I think edges out Juleson just by a little bit, but Juleson is by far the better skater, faster player, and Zboril does be a little bit more physical out there on the ice. If we were to look at like full career stats for Zboril, like 27 penalty minutes, 50 shots, like what's his hits comparison to? I feel like I'm Johnny Superman right now looking at the advanced analytics. But 58 giveaways to 17 takeaways, 67 block shots, and 82 hits. So if you were to compare that, though, to Noah Juleson, 42 giveaways to 24 takeaways, 55 block shots, 60 hits. So Juleson doesn't give the puck away as much as Zboril does. So the Zboril experiment didn't seem to work out all too well with us. So you know what? Why not give him back to the Boston Bruins? The Bruins do not want him, but if I had to choose a defenseman between Juleson or Zboril, Zboril is definitely the one to give away here. Now, what else can I give away? Honestly, I'm not using Jacob De La Rose at this point, to be honest, because I think I have enough players, the depth players, to throw in there, because I have Dylan Cousins, who's not playing, and he's kind of the extra player on the team, so he's the one who's my extra forward sitting out. But Jacob De La Rose is kind of you know, I can get rid of him, and the Boston Bruins do want him, so I'll add him to the equation as well. That'll free up a contract spot, which is very important, and this might be able to go through. I don't know. Zboril a first and Jacob De La Rose for Torey Krug with the retained cap. If this doesn't go through, I'll maybe take the retained cap off and see if that would go through. I'd be perfectly fine with giving this away. First round pick, Jacob Zboril and Jacob De La Rose to get Torey Krug for at least 2 good years out of him, and obviously help out a struggling power play and a struggling defense that's definitely looking to get points elsewhere. So let's see if this goes through. First, Zboril and De La Rose to the Bruins for Torey Krug. Straight up. Trade rejected, quite far off. Alright, so let's take off the retained cap. Let's take off the retained cap from Torey Krug. We don't need that. That's fine. So we'll take up the retained cap. So first, Zboril and De La Rose for Torey Krug. Trade rejected. No, they do not want to do that. Alright, might have to add in something else. I do have a buck ton of second round picks. I have 4 second round picks that I can give away here. Honestly, I'll give you guys my second round pick as well. First and a second, Zboril and De La Rose for Torey Krug. It's a lot to give up for Torey Krug, but honestly, they're picks I really don't need. I already have another first. I had 4 second round picks, so I really don't. I can give away the second. De La Rose wasn't being used, and if we're picking up Krug, giving away Zboril is honestly not that bad. Bruins can have him back. Didn't really work out for us all too well. So let's see if this goes through. A first, Zboril, De La Rose, and a second for Torey Krug. Trade accepted. I'm happy to accept this proposal on behalf of the Boston Bruins, and we consider it a done deal. So there we go. Zboril, experiment over. Jacob De La Rose, gone. Welcome Torey Krug to the Montreal Canadiens. Giving away the first and the second does hurt a little bit, but still, we have the picks in the back end to obviously help out our team. So let's go to edit lines now. Let's see. So starting lineups, obviously defense. So we do not need that anymore. Torey Krug, welcome to the squad. Substitute in all lines. There we go. He's a top 4, so that means let's see. Who we want to move down? Obviously, Noah Juleson can go back down to the bottom pair. Torey Krug, another left-handed shot. So many lefties on this team. But let's move Torey Krug over here. Mete can play that side. Torey Krug should be a very, very welcome addition to this team. Another 85 overall defenseman to help us out, which means now we can obviously put Torey Krug onto the power play. So I'm going to move Yossi over here. I'm going to move Morrissey down to Juleson's spot. And I'm going to take off Noah Juleson and add in Torey Krug to the power play, and that should hopefully give the power play a huge boost. What's Torey Krug's like defensive stats actually look like? We haven't had him scouted all too great yet, but like 3.5 star for defense is not terrible. That's actually accurate. 3.5 for defense, which is fine. I don't need him to play defense. I need him to score some goals and get points on the board. So I do have another contract spot available on this team, which I was just talking about would be beneficial to do. So I'm actually going to go to, let's go to roster moves, see if I can call up any other forward to help out with this team for potential injuries. Let's go to in the system. Anybody want to get called up? Arturi Lehkonen might be the guy to get called up. Yeah, let's just call up Arturi Lehkonen to the main roster, get him on the team. And I'll free up another extra spot for somebody down the minors if we need to do so. Since I freed up that contract spot, if I do believe so, I should have 48 at 50, which is phenomenal. I'm going to go to my defenders here because there's a certain defender in the system that has had a very, very good boost in his overall. Take a look at Mario Bouchard. 77 overall, minor league top 2 defenseman, low potential to become elite. He has 29 points in 37 games in the QMJHL currently, but he was the 7th round pick last year, 190, defensive defenseman, another defensive defenseman. Look at his defensive stats, 85, 93, 88. He's really good physical type of player as well. How many penalty minutes does he have so far in the year? No penalty minutes taken in the QMJHL either, so he's a big defensive defenseman that just doesn't take any penalties. So you know what? I'm going to offer him a contract, and hopefully I can throw him onto the AHL team now because he's 20 years old, so he should be able to play in the AHL. He was an overager in the QMJHL, honestly, so hopefully he should be able to play now on the AHL team. Alright, so we've done everything that we needed to do. I think I'll just edit up the trading block before we continue to move, since Zaboral's off there, Hudon, Mete, and I guess... Is there any other players that we think we can add to the trading block? I guess I could throw Juleson on there just to see if anybody could entertain trades from him. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what we'll add to the trading block, and I think we can continue to simulate here. So we made the adjustments to 5-on-5, to power play, got a new offensive defenseman to help out our power play. Let's go up to the trade deadline, shall we? And hopefully we can end off this season as well. Hopefully no bad things happen to our team here. Mete a 5th and a 6th for a goaltender and a forward prospect, no thanks. Hopefully we get on the winning ways. Alright, so we lose 4-3 to start after the new lineup changes, but we do come back with a 3-2 shootout win over the Blues. Let's see. 3rd, a 4th, and Legacy for a 3rd, a 5th, and Umberger. It's not RJ Umberger, even though it is our Umberger. It's definitely not RJ Umberger. So I'm going to say no to that, Tampa. That's kind of a weird trade there. Alright, Minnesota was not a good team, so we pick up a win there. Good. Juleson, a 2nd and a 4th for the Vegas 1st round pick for next year. No thanks. Alright, Winnipeg, not a good team. We just got to make sure we pick up wins over these bad teams. Under 500 teams, we need to make sure we get wins. Connor Timmins injured foot. That's fine. Replace the player. Mete and 2 7ths for Dellandrea. Ty Dellandrea. Let me see. Forward prospects. Let's see. Ty Dellandrea. We know he was a 13th overall pick in 2018. Where is he playing currently? In the AHL. He's played back-to-back years in the AHL. 30 points last year, 15 points so far this year, so he's kind of on pace to hit that again. I'm going to say no to that, Dallas. No thanks. We need to get wins here. There we go. There's another big win. That Rangers game was a little bit of a hiccup, but 3 straight wins is what I like to see. Victor Mete's sore hip estimated return is February 17th, so we can just replace the player. Kulikov will go in. Connor Timmins is available to play in the team's next game. Alright, so we lost that game. Did we lose that game against the Islanders? No, we actually won, I think. Alright, so Connor Timmins, where did he go in for? Pullman. Well, so let's put Timmins back in. Oops. There we go, Connor Timmins back in there. Cool. And big 5-3 win. 6th round pick for Martin. No thanks. Yeah, so we did 4 wins in a row. All right, Montreal, let's do this thing. 4 straight wins after that loss to the Rangers, and there's that loss to Ottawa. That's big. That's a big loss there to the Ottawa Senators, though. They're in our division. Mete for a 1st and Gecky. Victor Mete for a 1st round pick. And Gecky, or Geeky, Morgan Geeky. Geeky, do you love me? Are you riding? No, just because I started to sing that song, I'm going to immediately axe that trade. Dallas is a good team, though. If we can get a win over them, 6-2 loss. All right, so back-to-back losses there, not great after winning 4 straight. All right, so let's get Kulikov out of there. Mete, you go back in. Get a couple days rest as well. All right. Mete, 2nd and a 3rd for a 1st, Sorella, and a 2nd. So you get a 1st, a 2nd for next year. So the 2nd's for next year. So you basically swap 2nd round picks. So it's basically Mete and a 3rd for a 1st and Alexi Sorella. No, I'm going to say no to that. All right, come on, Montreal. Let's get some wins back under our belts. Ottawa and Dallas were good teams, but we can't lose to Atlantic Division opponents, that's for sure. There we go. Shootout win over Pittsburgh. Juleson and Hudon for Claremont and a second. No thanks. Like I said, a couple Atlantic teams coming up soon. That game against Buffalo we'll definitely need to win, but I think Buffalo's a bad team. Mente a 6th and a 7th for Raquel and Schultz. No, thank you. Washington, they're a decent team. If we could get a win, that'd be nice. 4-1 win, I'll take that. Philly, crazy ass good record. I'll take a point out of Philly. I'll definitely take a point out of Philly. They're in the Metro, obviously, but I'll take points against them. Nobody in our division is gaining points, and we got 2 very big Atlantic games coming up soon. Second, Outlaw and Hudon for Sven Berchi and a 4th. Berchi has a $5 million contract. Why? What is his overall? So a 2nd round pick, another 2nd round pick. Outlaw, who was the low elite defenseman, I think, or low top 4. Pretty sure he's low elite. And then Charles Hudon for a 4th for next year, and Sven Berchi, who's 81 or 84 overall, 38 and 58 second line forward. I'm literally only giving up a 2nd in Hudon. That would bolster up our offense a bit, but I don't really have room for Berchi. Like, where's he gonna go? Was he gonna move Gallagher down to the 3rd line? I mean, eventually Gallagher's definitely gonna be a 3rd liner, but Berchi, I think, how old is he? 29? What's his contract? Oh yeah, 5.5 mil for 6 years. No. I'm not dumb like other people trading to frickin' Pittsburgh. Roman Josi, March 1st. Alright, he's gonna be out for a little bit. I'll just replace the player. March 1st. He's only gonna be out for a week. So we lose Roman Josi for a week. That's gonna hurt. Romanov and Hudon for 2/3 and Victor Olofsson. No thanks. That's a big hurt. We lose Roman Josi for a week. Maybe like 2 games at best. I'm definitely gonna rush him back though as soon as I can. Tamara and Hudon for Jacob Markstrom and Ross Johnson. No thanks. All right, Buffalo's not a good team. Can we beat them? They kicked our ass every. Thank you. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted. Buffalo's kicked the living hell out of us every game so far this year, except for that one, which is what we needed. Tampa, like I said, was running away with our division, so we don't need that. 2 seconds and a 3rd, and Holden for a 1st and a 2nd from Nashville. Nashville, I've taken enough firsts and draft picks from you guys. I don't need another one. I'm good. All right, 5-4 loss to the Devils. That's kind of sucks. Juleson, the 2nd and a 4th for 3rd, and Raquel. No thanks. All right, come on, give me Roman Josi back. Roman Josi is available to play. Good. I need him back. ASAP, General. All right, Kulikov, you go off. Roman Josi, get your butt back in there. I know you're dealing with an injury at the current time, but I need you to get back in there. There you go. 4-1 win over Detroit. And then let's take one more month here. Let's do this last game against Carolina and then do a quick stat check up. 4-3 win. Very good. All right, 36, 23, and 4. A very, very good month in there. A couple hiccups to some pretty decent teams and, you know, some mediocre teams. But Devils were a good team, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. The losses in this month were to the Rangers, who are a good team. Ottawa, who is also a good team, so they're fighting with us. But like I said, we need to just kind of like maintain 3rd wildcard spot for our team. Dallas was a good team, so we lost to a lot of good teams. Got a point out of Philly, which is probably like one of the best teams in the NHL. Tampa's running away with our division, so, you know, any win against them or points would have been great. And Jersey was a good team. So we lost games against some good teams, but we definitely beat some better teams in there as well. And a lot of teams that we did play had a minus 500 record, so we were expected to win those games. And we're sitting pretty. 36, 23, and 4. It's a very, very good record. Still in 3rd place in the Atlantic Division. Catching Ottawa is kind of a realistic situation right now. Wild card is at 72. We still are 5 points ahead of the Maple Leafs, 4 points ahead of the wild card teams, and we still have 1 game in hand on the Maple Leafs as well. But it would be nice to catch Ottawa. I don't think we are. So we just got to continue to just win games here for the last month and a half of the season here. So we just got to make sure we win games. All right, let's just do a very, very quick checkup here on team stats, and then we'll finish up the regular season. Make it a long video. I'll struggle through it. Why not? All right, so let's check out goals for per game. Let's see who the top of the league is. Are we still bottom of the league for goals for? No, we are not. Let's see, where's our goals for at? Did it get better? Yeah, our goals for got better, 2.71, so we're near the top. Goals against, 2.7. Actually, goals against, I think, got a little bit better. Yeah, goals against got a little bit better. It's still kind of like near the bottom-ish of the league. It's kind of like near middle-ish now, which is not bad. Not bad. Power play percentage. Let's see. The power play get better. Not really. 16.2, but I think it was better-ish because I think it was like a 14, right? I don't remember. Our penalty kill still stayed the same at like 83, which is good because it's like top of the league. It's near the top of the league for penalty kill, so that's fine. We're doing good there. Home record 18-11-2, away 18-12-2, last 10 5-4-1. All right, so Tyson Jost leading the team, 48 points in 63 games, 31 goals on the year. That is what I like to see. 47 points for Drouin. Doesn't look like we're gonna get anybody point game per player, but if we can have a bunch of guys over like 40 and 50 points, I'll definitely take that. 25 goals for Drouin, which is good. Plus minuses are still a little bit sketch, obviously. Gallagher with 44 points, -9, so his plus minus is getting a little bit better playing on that second pair. Max Domi with 42 points, 34 assists. Sherbak with 34 is a -1. Kakaniemi still 33 points, 26 assists. Paling, 18 goals for Ryan Paling on the third line. That's really surprising to me, to be honest. What is your like shot like total at, and how many shots do you take? 138 shots, 13% shooting percentage, which is good. Yeah, you take a lot of shots. I'm surprised you take that many shots. 18 goals on the year for Paling. That's pretty damn good. Senyshyn has 12 as well on the third line. So Paling and Senyshyn are racking up goals. Both of those guys have a combined 30 goals on the third line, which is pretty damn crazy. Senyshyn could be getting some more power play points as well from being on that power play. He has 4. So a couple of those probably are goals, but still, if I could get 30 goals out of my third line, who else is on that third line? Lafreniere is 23 points. So 7 goals out of him, not bad. Hudon, Poulin, Armia, and Cousins are right there. Defensive totals, let's see. Roman Josi, 41 points. Torey Krug, obviously 33. I forget how many points we got when he had when we picked him up. I think he had 29, right? He had 10 goals and 19 assists, I believe. Yeah, so he's gotten 3 goals and 1 assist since joining our team, so not bad in a month. Obviously, would like a little bit more out of that. Morrissey with 20, Juleson 14, Belfoy with 7, Victor Mente with 6, and Dmitry Kulkov with 1. Tendies, haven't really talked much about these guys so far this year, but they're kind of doing, you know, they're doing mediocre, which is enough to get by, to be honest. Grubauer 24 and 19, 5 shutouts on the year. Save percentage of .914, 2.66 goals against average. Carter Hart 13, 5 and 4, 2 shutouts, same save percentage, 2.6 goals against average. So both goaltenders are pretty much doing exactly the same as expected. 36, 23, and 4. How's Laval doing? 35, 20, and 3. Okay, they're fine. They're fine. We don't have to worry about them. All right, so trade deadline is over. No more trades for the rest of the year. Hopefully these veterans that we picked up will be able to help us out here for the rest of the season, as we hope to make our first playoff appearance in this franchise mode. All right, so not the greatest start to March, but definitely picked it back up a bit there in the second week. We lost to Columbus and Detroit. Definitely don't want to get those. Eric Jelena is injured again. That's fine. St. Louis overtime win. There we go. Back with 3 straight points. Central Scouting. That's fine. Columbus. Let's get a win over them. Hopefully. 3-1 loss. All right, that's fine. Islanders. Yep, mediocre team. We beat them. Charles Hudon has been injured his ribs. Estimated return is April 3rd. Cousins, I think, is decent face-offs, but I'll just add the lines manually. There we go. So Dylan Cousins will get in there for Charles Hudon. Jelena is available to play in the team's next game. Yeah, let me just add this up real quickly. All right, Colorado get a win over them. Nice. Lost that game against Columbus again, but back with 2. Detroit's kind of kicked our ass, and I don't think they're a good team either. Toronto, that's a big game. There you go. 4-2 win over them. Philly, oh my God, dude. Philly's good. Boston get a win over them, which is nice. Philly's record has like 52 wins on the year. They might get like a 60-win season on the Flyers. They're having a crazy good record. All right, Hudon's available to play. Good, let's get him back in. All right, Ottawa, it's a big game. If we want to potentially catch them, no, we're not going to catch them. Matthew Spencer has been placed on waivers. Who is this guy? 25 years old, depth defenseman, 76 overall. No, thanks, I don't need that. All right, Pittsburgh, loss. Rangers win. Chicago, that should be a win, 4-3. Boston, That should be a win. And then Ottawa, any potential for that? We do get a 3-2 win over them. For what it's worth, to end off the year with 4 straight wins, though. And it's a very good season by the Habs. 47, 30, and 5. That is, what, 99 points, right? Yep, 99 points. And finally, took us till year number 4 with this team. But the Montreal Canadiens are making their way back to the NHL playoffs. And it looks like we're going to be taking on those Ottawa Senators in round number 1. So are all the teams done? Yes, they are. So let's take a look at the standings here. In the Pacific, who was the best team this year? It was the Philadelphia Flyers, edging out the Dallas Stars by 1 point. Philly had a 56-21-5 record, 117 points. Where's this team? Do I really have to wait 4 years from now until the Flyers are actually that damn good? I might take a look at their roster just because I'm freaking curious. But there's the Pacific Division. Vancouver, Arizona, Edmonton, Anaheim, and Vegas all make it in. In the Central, Dallas, St. Louis, and Winnipeg make it in. Whereas Nashville, 80 points. All right, so it's going to be a kind of middle-of-the-road pick. It was definitely going to be better than our pick, so I'm glad we traded that away. Yep, so Tampa, Ottawa, and Montreal are the only ones that make it in from the Atlantic Division. We beat out Toronto by 9 points, and the wild card was at 91, so we were very, very much in favor of pretty much our own destiny. As long as we beat Toronto, I think we had a pretty good chance of making it in. So we're the 3 teams only from the Atlantic: Tampa, Ottawa, and Montreal. And then the Metro has Philly, Columbus, Carolina, Jersey, and the Rangers, Washington, Pittsburgh, and the Islanders, unfortunately, sitting out on the year. All right, so let's just take a quick final look at our team stats for this year, player stats, and then we'll call it a video as we prep for playoffs. Awesome. All right, so let's go to entire league. Goals for per game. Where did we finally end off the year at goals for per game? Roughly kind of outside like top 10, so near the middle-ish of the league. 2.76 goals for per game. Goals against per game was at 2.7, so once again kind of in the middle again. So middle for goals for, middle for goals against. Goals for is less than goals against. It's not something you want, but they were pretty much almost even throughout the year. 219 goals for, 221 goals against. So we're roughly putting in, as you know, putting in the same amount of goals that we're giving up, which is not bad. It's not good either, but hopefully we can make the change there. Power play is pretty bad. It's one of the worst power plays in the entire league. 14.6%. So you guys really need to help me out with this power play situation. I have no idea what I need to do with this power play. We did have the 3rd most power plays in the entire NHL, but still, we should probably have like a 17% if we were having that much. I would like to have where San Jose had it at, but that's not great. And then penalty kill percentage was 83.5, so that's almost top 5. It's 7th best in the NHL. So the penalty kill is not going to be touched at all. Power play percentage, I like how it shows that at the top too. Power play and penalty kill percentage. That's pretty cool. I didn't even notice that. So not bad at all. 14.6 power play, 83.5 penalty kill. So power play will need to change up a bit before we start the playoffs. So 24-15-2 home record, 23-15 away record, 6-4 in our last 10. Looking pretty hot coming into the playoffs, not gonna lie, winners of 4 straight games. All right, so let's take a look at our point totals here. Nobody with really outrageous point totals, but players definitely did what I needed them to do this year at 100%. Jonathan Drouin, leading point getter on our team, 62 points, 34 goals. Very good year for Jonathan Drouin. Is that his best year so far, to be honest, on our team, or did he have more last year? No, that was his best year so far. A lot more goals this year, so I'm glad Drouin had a lot more goals. Got to get that plus minus down a bit, but plus minus 18 is not great. But, you know, still a really good year. He put the puck in the net is what I wanted him to do. Tyson Jost did exactly what I needed him to do. Most goals on our team, 35 goals on the year. How many did he have last year? He had 33, so he had more this year as well. More goals and more assists, 56 points in the year, plus 8. Tyson Jost did exactly what I needed him to do. I needed this team to score goals, and he scored goals on our team 110%. So between Drouin and Tyson Jost, that is almost 70 combined goals between our first line left winger and our second line center this year. Pretty damn good. Brendan Gallagher, 53. Max Domi with 49 points, 40 assists for Domi. Not bad. Jesperi Kotkaniemi with 43 points for him as well. Nikita Sherbak with 40, Ryan Poehling with 38 points with 22 goals from Ryan Poehling, and Zach Senyshyn 37 points, 18 goals from him as well. So I'll take 40 goals from my third line center and left winger, right winger. I'm not going to complain by that. Damn, dude, I get almost 70 goals combined for Drouin and Jost, and then I get 40 goals combined with Poehling and Senyshyn. So those guys take a lot of shots, and not surprisingly, they score goals. Lafreniere, not the best rookie season that I wanted out of him, to be honest. Only 29 points in 82 games. He was a +4 though, so he definitely fixed his plus-minus a bit. Obviously, Poehling and Senyshyn scoring all those goals were definitely nice. Hopefully, he was assisting on a bunch of those. Hudon with 22, Poulin with 20 points in 82. Armia had 18. Armia had 12 goals as well on the fourth line, which is not bad. Dylan Cozens, 6 points in 20 games for him. Defenseman Roman Josi had 50 points on the year. Very, very good. Torey Krug had 47. Once again, 29 of those points came from Boston, but still he almost got another 20 points on our team. I'll take an 18-point stint from Torey Krug on this team, 110%. Josh Morrissey with 27. Juleson finished off the year with 18. Mete finished with 8. Belfoy finished with 8 points as well. 7 assists from the defensive defenseman. I'll take that. And Kulikov 1.8 games. And then the attendees finished off the year. Grubauer 52 games played. Carter Hart 38 games played. Grubauer finished with a 30, 22-0 record. Carter Hart 18, 10-5. 5 shutouts for Grubauer, 3 for Hart. Save percentage .913, .915. Goals against average 2.61, 2.59. So very, very similar stat totals from our two goaltenders. And you know what? Not a bad year from the boys. I want to take a look at Philly real quick, because Philly was the best team in the NHL. Mike Smith, yeah, sure. Don't know how the heck that happened. Who they have on defense? Ghost, Provy, Jacob Larson, yep, Myers, Sanheim, Bowen Byram, and Brandon Manning still. So they reacquired Brandon Manning. That's pretty funny. And then forwards, who they have? Voracek, Giroux, Simmer, Ilya Kovalchuk, Jesus, mother. Couturier, JVR, Morgan Frost is on their team. Konechny, Patrick, Lawton, Ratcliffe, Lindbaum. Yeah, that's a pretty damn good team for Philly, not gonna lie. We have playoffs inbound from the Montreal Canadiens. How is Laval doing? Laval is at 86 points. So hopefully they're a playoff team. They should be a playoff team. They might be a wild card team at best. And we are going up, obviously, against the Ottawa Senators here in round number 1, year 4 of the playoffs. So obviously that trade at the deadline definitely helped out our team, getting some more points on the back end. And our team definitely did the dang thing and made it to the playoffs. So we finally have playoffs here in this franchise mode. Took to year number 4, but we finally have that coming. So let me know what you guys think we should do for this coming playoff run. Lafreniere has now grown to an 82 overall, so that's good. He's gotten a little bit of a boost, which is always nice to see. Progressing for him, obviously meaning him elite. He's definitely going to be getting those increases up. Let me know what you guys think what we should do with the squad moving forward. Belfoy is actually now an 80 overall as well, which is always nice. But power play is something that needs work. Power play is something that needs to be changed before the playoffs start, because we definitely do not want a bad power play going into round number 1 against the Senators team. So give me some suggestions down below in the comments of what we need to do to change up with our power play. Who do you think needs to go on it, and who do you think needs to be playing where? Because it was one of the worst in the league, so we definitely need to change something with this power play to get it kick-started and potentially being a lethal force for us in the playoffs. But, like I said, leave that in the comment section down below. Who should our starter be as well? That's another very interesting question to raise. Who should our starter be in the playoffs here? Do we give Grubauer the shot, or do we give Carter Hart the shot? Both attendees had very similar stats, almost identical stats in the regular season. Very similar save percentage, very similar goals against average. Obviously, Grubauer played a majority of the games. He won 30, as we mentioned, but Carter Hart also won 18. And he had a pretty good record for at least a good run of the year to start. So let me know what you think we should do for come the playoffs. Who should be our starter? Should it be Philip Grubauer? Should it be Carter Hart? and what the heck should we do with our power play to hopefully get it kick-started for the playoff run. But thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. As always, we got playoffs next episode, finally, for the first time. I said it like 16 times, but I'm going to continue to say it. First time we got playoffs in the series. So, other than that, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.